Hi everyone, my name is Zhipeng. I'm a PhD student at Monash University. In this video, I'm going to introduce our recent research, technical QA site answer recommendation via question boosting, which is published in TOSM this year. In recent years, there are a lot of technical QA sites focused on different topics, such as Stack Overflow, Ask Ubuntu, Superuser, and so on and so forth. And the technical QA sites plays an important role in helping developers solving daily problems. For example, developers spend 20% of their time searching for relevant resources online, and 63% developers search information online ended up with a visit to technical QA sites such as Stack Overflow. Despite the great success of technical QA community, according to our empirical study, there are also many problems. For example, a very large number of questions in technical QA sites remain unanswered or unresolved. For example, in Stack Overflow, more than 50%, 15% questions never received an answer since they are created, and more than 30% of the questions still remain unresolved. And the situation is even worse as the time goes by. We call such phenomenon as answer hungry phenomenon in technical QA sites. We argue one main reason for the answer hungry problem is that the technical QA sites fails to recommend appropriate answers to the newly posted questions. There are several challenges for this task. One challenge is a lexical gap between the questions and the answers. How to fill the gap between questions and answers is a challenge problem. Another challenge is the answer ranking challenge. That is, given a list of relevant answers, how to pick up the best one among the answer candidates. In order to address these two challenges, we proposed a model named DeepAns to perform answer recommendation via question boosting in technical QA sites. Our proposed model DeepAns consists of 3 stages: question boosting, neighbor establishment, and answer recommendation. The first step of question boosting aims to address the lexical gap challenge, while the second and the third step aims to address the answer ranking challenge. In the first stage of question boosting, we would like to fill the lexical gap between the question and answers. Therefore, we incorporate the clarifying question in technical QA sites, which is a bridge between the question and answers. To be more specific, given a newly posted question, we want to automatically generate useful clarifying questions, which are relevant, syntactically and semantically correct for this question. This can be formulated as a sequence-to-sequence learning problem. We first collect the question and clarifying question pairs from the technical QA sites. We then apply the sequence-to-sequence architecture to train the model. For example, if we input the question error loading update manager to the model will automatically output its clarifying question. Did you change the server location? After the model is trained, for any newly created question, we can generate a clarifying question as a way of question boosting. The clarifying question can be served as a bridge to link the original question and the answers. In the second stage, we do neighbor establishment. Due to the reason of professional character of the technical questions, only experts with specific knowledge are qualified to evaluate the matching score between a question and an answer. Therefore, in practice, for a newly posted question, it is very hard to select the best answer from a list of answer candidates because we can't find experts for each case. So in this stage, we propose 4 simple but very effective rules to make our training set and address the answer ranking problem. The 4 rules are as follows. The first rule is, for a given question, we pair it with its best answer and label this QA pair as positive. The second rule is, for a given question, we pair it with its non-best answer and label this QA pair as neutral plus. The third rule is, for a given question, we pair it with an answer from similar questions and label this QA pair as neutral minus. And the last rule is, for a given question, we pair it with a random selected answer and label this QA pair as negative. After the label establishment process, we can gather large amounts of labeled examples, which greatly saves the time-consuming and label-intensive labeling process. So in the third stage, we do the answer recommendation. So in this stage, given a question and an answer candidate, our goal is to calculate the matching score between the QA pair. We formulate these problems as a 4-category classification problem. So we first proposed a weakly supervised neural network that can be trained with above 4 kinds of training samples. The main building blocks of our architecture are 2 convolutional neural networks. These 2 submodels work in parallel, mapping the question and the answer to their distributional vectors respectively, which are then used to calculate the final similarity score between them. So after the training process, for a given question and an answer candidate, our model will output 4 probabilities, which represents the QA pair is positive, is neutral plus, is neutral minus, and is negative. After getting these 4 probabilities, we can compute the final matching score by using the formula in these slides. So in this stage, we can easily get a matching score between a question and an answer candidate. We conduct our experiment on 3 popular technical QA sites, that is Ask Ubuntu, SuperUser, and Stack Overflow. We collected a large number of question clarifying question pairs for training the question boosting model. We also collected a large number of question answer pairs for training the answer recommendation model. For automatic evaluation, we compared our approach with several baselines. We sampled 5,000 QA pairs from our dataset to serve as the testing set. One way to evaluate our approach is to look at how often the accepted answer is ranked higher up among other answer candidates. Therefore, we choose a widely accepted metric, P at K and DCH at K, to measure the ranking performance of our approach. I won't bore you with too much details of the statistics for the automatic evaluation, but in summary, our approach substantially outperforms other baselines on the automatic evaluation. We also conduct an ablation evaluation to measure the question boosting and the label establishment model, respectively. Both question boosting and the label establishment model are effective and helpful to enhance the performance of our approach. We conduct the experiment to tune the hyperparameters of our model and investigate the optimal settings for these parameters. We also evaluate the performance of our model when adding noises to our data. The experiment results shows that our model is non-sensitive and robust under different parameter settings. Since automatic evaluation do not always agree with the real-world users, we also performed a small qualitative user study to measure how humans actually perceive the results produced by our approach. For human evaluation, we compared our approach with Google search engine and Stack Exchange search engine. The results generated by our approach are more appreciated by human evaluators with respect to the unanswered and unresolved questions. Thanks a lot for your time. If you are interested in our work, please read our papers and feel free to drop me an email.
Hello and welcome to the session on in online platform Overflow number 2. I'm Alexander Srebrenik from Eindhoven University of New Zealand, and it is a great pleasure for me to chair this session. Our first speaker is Chanpang Gao, and he's here to answer your questions about questioning on the Stack Overflow and similar question and answering websites. Please ask your questions in the chat. And we already have the first question from Eleni Constantino. Eleni asked that a recent paper in MSR identified sections of libraries used in Stack Overflow code snippets showed that answers in Stack Overflow might contain outdated code snippets. So do you account for this threat when recommending answers? And if I may add, if yes.
Can I? Yes. So I didn't notice this paper. If you have the link to the paper, can you please post the paper link into the chat room? So for currently for this work, we didn't consider the outdated code snippets in answers, and I think that is a very interesting and challenging question. We will do it in our future work.
Great. Eleni has posted the link in the chat.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will investigate this paper after this chat, after this meeting. Yes.
Yeah, and I guess it's not only about outdated snippets, but also about outdated information in general.
Yes, yes.
So do you take some kind of timing into account?
Sorry?
Do you take some kind of time values into account? Like recent?
No, actually, we don't take into time into account for the current work. We just download all the raw data from Stack Overflow data dump and make the training set and the testing set. Yes.
Right. So Nen Zhang asks, congratulates you on doing great work, and asks about label establishment. So how do you handle the case if a question has multiple answers? We seem to have lost our author for a second. I hope that he will rejoin us shortly. In the meantime, please continue posting your questions in the chat room. And of course, if the authors will not be able to come back during the allocated time, you can always find those questions in the discussion room and hopefully answer them later on. Let me try to find the
Sorry.
And the Chief Hunt has rejoined us.
Sorry, the network is very unstable. Sorry about that.
Right. So there was a question about handling the situations when a question has multiple answers as part of the label establishment.
Yes. Sorry, I just get out of the room. Yes. For the label establishment, yes. It's the second stage of our work, and we first, if it has a best answer, we will label this QA pair as positive, and if the question has multiple non-best answers, we just randomly select one non-best answer from these candidates and label this QA pair as neutral class. And yes, then for the similar question, we pick randomly select one from the similar questions to label this QA pair as neutral malus. Yes. Thanks for the question. I'm not sure if I answered your concerns.
So I also have another question.
Yes.
How did you address a situation when multiple tools provided the same answer when performing a comparative evaluation? So for instance, approaches say that this answer is the best one in the unresolved case, or if they find the same answer when you are looking for the unanswered case.
I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly. Your question about the ground truth of our dataset?
No, you are comparing different approaches, but those approaches provide the same answer, right? So was it a problem for you, or was it because for the ranking purposes?
If two approach recommend the same answer, we just count this as if it is accepted answer, we just count this is true for both approaches, and yes, we just count if the recommended answer matches the accepted answer from all the baseline approaches. I'm not sure if I answer your question.
Sure. So we also have a question who says that after getting the 4 categories probabilities, how do you get the final similarity score?
Yeah, I just I just said very little about this problem. We use after getting all the 4 categories probabilities, we just give each probability a weight and sum all the probability as a final similarity score. And we have an experiment to fine tune these 4 key parameters with adaptive step sizes. For example, we choose the optimal parameters between 0 and 10 with very small but adaptive step sizes, and do the experiment again and choose the optimal weights for these 4 parameters. And if you are interested in this question, you can investigate the parameters tuning section in our paper.
Right. Thank you very much for this answer. So sometimes on Stack Overflow, answers are provided in the comments rather than in official answers. So would it be a good idea to include this kind of answers in your data, or would it be essentially the same?
For comments, we just collect all the clarifying questions from the comments to do the question boosting, but we did not consider if a comment has answered this question. We just collect the question if it has a accepted answer, because this is a more direct way to do the measurement.
Right. Right,
Yeah.
but would it be a good idea? I mean, I understand that you have not done it, but would it be a good idea to do it?
Yeah. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah.
Right. So, looking into, we are going probably to be removed from this general chat to the discussion space of your paper in a couple of seconds.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for your answers. Please continue this discussion section section of this talk